कृपया ध्यान दीजिए. The language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. All right, fabulous show. We should put on the headphones.
Yeah.
That's always right.
I was just looking around and
Tell
said,
uncle, no? Tell uncle, uncle, please put on your headphones, you idiot. You have to correct me. Yeah.
Okay.
Shantanu, thank you for being on the show. I formally have to invite you because otherwise it looks bad. For those who don't know, Santanu Hazarika, that's the famous name. You must be getting that all the time. Again, this is my generation because of the surname and the great musician. And, you know, a lot of people would probably say, are you related to the legendary Bhupen Hazarika? And,
Bhupen
Hazarika. Don't you pronounce it Bhupen?
No, it's Bhupen.
You pronounce it Bhupen?
Yeah, it's Bhupen.
Okay. I actually did one event with him many years ago.
What?
Yeah, well, he was on stage and whatever. I got to chat with him for 5-10 minutes. I didn't know he likes country music. He was a country music fan.
Yeah, he
as well.
loves country music. He loves jazz.
Yeah.
He's like a...
So I didn't see that. You know, he was filmy and correct and all. I didn't see that. He sounded like one of the guys one uncle you could have grown up with.
I mean, he actually like revamped most of the old country songs from the West and made it into
500 miles and things.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go there.
Yeah, you don't want to go there. Piss off some nice.
But that doesn't mean they like it also, no? Because it was done by other. I won't take the names of composers, not to mention the Moments or anything else. But they've all done it. It doesn't mean they're just aware of the music. Sorry, I've got Alzheimer's and Parkinson's both, so the movement and all this. But coming back to him, but we had a chat and he was discussing songs with me. And I was like quite. I felt bad actually. It's like racism or prejudices, you know. When you presume a guy is filmy, so you won't have this side to him and all. But he's actually very well musically learned. You know?
No, he actually has bunch of PhDs on like human studies, tribal studies.
What are you saying?
Yeah, he was awarded by JFK.
Wow.
In that time, in that era. So he studied in, I think, University of Chicago.
Oh, so see, look at what I'm saying. You have no idea. We have this strong idea about people because they become famous. We have no idea what they could be. So he was a very well-rounded person, what do you say?
Yeah, so he also headed the All India Radio. And so he was well aware of what was happening around the world.
But no relation?
No relation, not at all, not even close.
All right, fair enough. But you can claim him. Maybe sick of people. I don't know, maybe this generation doesn't remember him well enough, so you don't get that many people doing the reference. But you met Uncle today. Where's my camera? You met I'm so stupid I couldn't find the camera. So for Uncle, it's a different feel altogether.
I don't blame it. There are 3 cameras here, so I think...
No, one is a dummy. So I'm the dummy. 3 cameras. Shantanu, let's start it. You've already been on Varta Labs,
yes,
I think, and it was a horrible experience because Naveen is, let's face it, offensive man, and Akash is smelly and unhygienic, even though he was getting married. And so today I want this to be a good experience for you, whatever happens.
No, it was well. I think I fitted in quite well.
What bol, yaar.
Yeah.
You don't have to do PR.
No, it's not
Abuse
about
those
PR. Like we opened our conversation with our cats pissing on our furniture and how does the cat piss smell like. So from there...
And who doesn't want to hear this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I start about country music. Yeah. It's a boring old man story.
Nah, it's all good. Piss and country
you've got
music.
Cats, is it?
Yeah, I got one cat. Her name is Clara. And you can see there's a bunch of cat hair. And like the whole car ride here, I was cleaning off my cat hair off my black hoodie.
Why? We're very animal proud here.
No, just like that.
Okay, so Clara stays with you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my knowledge of Shantanu's background. No, I'm kidding. No, but you're a celebrated artist. Let's go back and discuss your life because I think Varta Labs didn't do enough of that. So tell us how you became this artist extraordinaire who now charges 40 lakhs just to turn up and not even do anything. Just to say hello.
No, I draw dicks though. Again, I'm going to go back to that again because... Yeah.
How does he elevate my conversation, this man?
So I don't have formal training in field of art. I'm actually an engineer by background.
Yeah.
So I did my engineering in mechanics.
Why is it always these bloody engineers steal the limelight? They study, they take the seat. Somebody is deprived of that. And they become superstars in some other field altogether. It happens all the time in India. I hate the engineers.
Oh, I hate the professors. They're also engineers, so I think it's the same thing.
But don't you ever feel guilty about this? That, I could have had a normal corporate job and he said, I'm really good at, something artistic and now I do this and that's wasted. So somebody else, Jagdeep Singh, didn't get a seat. and now he's working at McDonald's. I know him.
I mean, like, actually the thing about like being an engineer is like you hustle so much in that 4 years that it kind of prepares you to take up anything else other than engineering. So like starting from dealing with your professors, your principals, to your attendance, everything is a proper hustle.
The real information that you get is outside the classroom, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Getting through the survival.
I have actually paid other students to do my charts.
Wow.
And that's the whole kind of...
Not your drawings, no?
Drawings also sometimes.
That's true. When you get famous, I think, was it Anumalik? Somebody told us, what do you do? When you get famous, you take on too much in the market. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You can't physically do 10 drawings or 10 whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I basically direct it. Creatively direct it.
Beta, aisa karo. Right hand upper, elbow cocked.
Exactly. More elbow grease there.
Hazarika touch after that. It's all done, bro. Done.
Yeah, just step in, Photoshop, little bit here and there. No, I'm kidding. I do most of my work.
Go back to engineering a little bit, and you're in engineering. What was your plan then at that point?
So I was always into science. My biggest misconception was that engineering and science are same. Like I thought engineering and science, they're the same thing.
The guys who build elephants and bridge, same problem.
So I was like, oh no, this is slavery. Like basically engineers are slaves of science. Yeah. And that's what I realized, okay, this is not something that I really want to do. So then I started studying up on metaphysics and stuff like that on my own because I was really interested into science. And then by third, fourth year that I realized I had a knack for drawing. Like since
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
You didn't know about this till the fourth year of engineering?
No,
I can't believe it.
No. See, I was always drawing, but
your parents and friends must have known this guy's a good artist. You can't become that great so fast.
I mean, everybody did know me that I could draw and I could make stuff up. But then the whole ecosystem is like art is a hobby. So nobody told me that you can have a career like out of this. So I always thought,
sad.
Either this
nobody
or that.
Took it seriously. You were really talented. I was like, wo karta hai side mein.
Summer break mein like 5 standard.
How do the parents discuss at a cocktail party? Mera beta, I'm so proud, yaar. Kya? Uska learn dekha?
I would be proud. I would be a proud dad. Like if I were to brag about my son.
Listen, art is art. Isn't art? I mean, you shouldn't judge art. I mean, there's people getting heart attacks because it's what it is. I mean, what is that story? Just to segue.
Sorry, engineering and drawing. How I got into it. Yeah. So I used to draw a lot of I'm a big heavy metal fan.
Okay.
So I used to like draw and copy a lot of those album covers, and they were really graphic.
Which are the groups you liked?
I like bands like Decapitated. Then Megadeth.
Megadeth, I know.
Yeah, Megadeth.
I mean, vaguely,
Slipknot.
Slipknot, the t-shirt you're wearing.
Yes.
Some memory from Abbas.
Cannibal Corpse and really hardcore.
Megadeth to kafi hai. Let's not overdo it. I'm getting a heart attack now.
so those album artworks are really graphic. Like super graphic.
Yeah, all the covers were really strange.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So I used to replicate those and I used to draw them a lot. So that's how I learned how to draw. And especially the font work that they used to do back in the day, like with Megadeth, Metallica and all, they were very iconic.
Metallica, I know.
Yeah.
How much better conversation.
But I hate Metallica. I'm always a Megadeth fan. So
for me, it's BJP Congress. Yeah. I don't know the manifestos. The सबसे सुंदर politician कौन है? That's the only question I ask. But I still find it a little fascinating. Maybe you're being modest, so I won't push it too much. But nobody told you, boss, you have a fantastic sketcher or whatever. I mean, kids in the class, maybe some girl, auntie, uncle, somebody somewhere growing up, because you couldn't have become so good at it and achieved so much so quickly later on in life without somebody seeing the talent, no?
I mean, my friends were always there, and most of my friends were musicians, so they were always into the stuff that I did. Are you a
musician also?
No, my brother is. That's one of the reasons that I became an artist, because I always wanted to be in a band, but I didn't have any talent. So I'm like, okay, I'll do your album artwork.
I'm
the editor, exactly.
I love those guys.
Yeah. I'm one of those.
The guitar solo happens to go
the full head banging and full feels.
But can you play the guitar or not?
No, I can't. I did try to play the bass a little bit, so I do fiddle around the bass now and then, but that's the most.
Sounds very vulgar, huh? Yeah. Call him to your party, he'll fiddle around with your bass. So where's this Dick story, man? What was that all about? Varta Labs goes on about.
So towards the end of all of this work, and also I started getting into a lot of satire. Like I love South Park and all. So
now you're talking.
Yeah.
Family Guy?
Yeah. I love Peter Griffin.
I love Peter Griffin.
Homer Simpson is again a classic favorite. All of those fat guys are my favorite.
Abbas is coming soon, ladies and gentlemen.
So I figured that see, dick is the most satirical thing you can say to anyone, like through your visually also. Like, here's a dick for you. You go fuck off, you suck my dick or something.
But in India, it could be a name also, like Hardik, Mahadik.
Yeah, that's the beauty about India, right there. I won't go to the whole religion side of it. But then, so I figured, okay, this is something I can do like really subliminally in most of my artworks. And also it's very easy to draw. So when I used to go for house parties and all, I'll draw like hidden dicks around the house or people who passed out, I'll draw on their faces and all. So I figured I'll put that in my art. So in some of the brand works that I've also done, I've hidden dicks there.
What are you saying? Oh God, I wish I could show that. I mean, we could show that. That would be great.
So, yeah,
Can you mention one or two that
no,
can check it?
No, I don't think.
Can you imagine? People are so petty.
Yeah.
They don't know. They're not here to appreciate the art. They're looking for the penis. But it's huge.
Yeah.
Because the world is like, what? Santanu Hazarika, we have to go.
They zoom in there.
It's your USP, bro. Come on.
Yes.
Big.
So it's like a hidden joke that I really like. See, for me, art is like a kind of a fun thing because, like, growing up, there's a lot of hardships.
You were an engineer? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I was an engineer. That's again one of the hardest thing to do. And then also growing up in a place like Assam, Guwahati, there was nothing much going on.
Yeah, I like Guwahati. I've been there many times.
I mean, it's nice, but it was not nice growing up because of there's a lot of issues,
political and social issues. Okay, fair enough.
Also financially, there's a lot of things going around.
Take the money from the center. I tell the Assamese all the time.
We don't get that money. No, people don't see that money.
Just take the money. It's supposed to come to our states. They keep it all the time. Delhi's roads look good all the time. What about the rest of the country? Take the money from them. I'm just kidding.
I wish we could.
Shut up and draw dicks, man. Before they get through.
So so I learned that humor is something that helped me like get by like most of my situations. And I also was clinically depressed for my longest
as a kid?
Like late teens, early teens till late teens.
That's a horrible time to be depressed. Huh?
Yeah, so I was under medication and stuff. Like
clinical depression has no reason, right? I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sickness basically.
Like people keep thinking, what is the reason? There's no reason.
There's no reason.
It's just that you feel low.
Yeah, you just feel low. You just don't feel like waking
Wait till you get married if you thought those were the bad years. Shoot, yeah. You'll be drawing dicks for the rest of your life now.
Yeah, I've been there. Like, I would do that still even if I get married. Like, no dicks in the house. Like, you got the biggest dick here.
I don't understand young people. You don't understand life, man. You think it sucked as a teenager or in engineering because there are no chicks around? Wait till you advance.
No, there were plenty of chicks.
In engineering?
Yeah.
Where is this?
Like, back, because I was doing it
in
like
Guwahati. I'm saying in engineering college, generally...
Yeah.
Come on, that can't change overnight. Yeah.
No, that can't change. Sorry.
That's why most engineers aren't engineers. Yeah, sorry. So the clinical depression, with joking about it, but obviously it was hard. Then,
yeah, so that's the thing. This jokes and this whole humor actually got me through, and mostly other stuff also, like drawing and art and all. So like sketching is something that I always constantly kept doing. So
do you know you were good?
Huh?
Do you know you were good?
Yeah, my friends appreciated it. And I was only good in drawing. I was not good in my studies. I was not good in sports. I was not the popular kid. So this is the only
But you knew, after some time, people keep saying, nice things or, talk about your art. You must have had a feeling that I'm really good.
Yeah, it's only way late, like in my engineering days, and when I realized that, I have something good here. Because by that time, everyone's like,
you pay the capitation fee, you get into engineering, you do the exams, and you realize that you're actually good at something else. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it was really difficult. And I tried to drop out, but then it was not possible. But by the time I had a reputation, I'm the album art specialist for all the local metal bands. So, and I always...
That was your job description.
Yeah. That's what I did. Yeah. Like, I just $200-300, few beers of...
So they were the Eastern metal bands, isn't it? As you go to Bengal, I hate to put them together. I know they hate each other.
Yeah, don't do that. Never do that.
But whenever I've been there, it's always got a strong rock and metal culture. Always. I always feel that.
Because it's more of a punk vibe, because we had a huge youth population with not much outlet. Like, there were no malls, there were no clubs, there were no cafes, there were no, nothing for us to do around. And there was mostly violence, political disarray and all that shit going around. So how do you actually...
So it's like Delhi with better scenery.
I mean, Delhi is still that was very different. There's a lot of alcoholism, a lot of drugs, a lot of other stuff going around.
See how we as outsiders, when we come, they get a wrong impression. I mean, of course, politically the issues are there. But I always think of Guwahati. I get really happy when I think of Guwahati. I think it looks beautiful. It's pretty enough. People are really nice, very warm.
Yeah.
So, I don't get this vibe at all. But then coming from there, it's a different story.
It's a different... now it's really better. Now it's much better. I don't know whom to actually... you
want to give...
credits to.
He doesn't want to... Yeah, okay. And align yourself to parties.
Yeah, but it's really much better because Guwahati as a city is right now the gateway and everyone needs to travel there. So they've realized that and they've made it like really good. But
you're this Bangladesh. No, I'm just kidding. He's not into all that. Yeah.
I mean, if I take a side, I'll piss off like...
You don't take a side.
Yeah.
Ask stupid podcasts about how good you are at drawing. Nothing else is important right now.
So
the day comes when you have to take a political stand, please do outside the studio.
So back then it was very different. Now it's like really good and that happened. A lot of things happening. It's like a city. Back then it was like really like an anarchist place.
Wow.
So all of us were in like small gangs. Like
you were a gangbuster?
Yeah, sorta.
You doing masti and all that?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Extorting money?
No, not extorting money. Basically just
fights.
Fights, getting drunk.
Oh.
Mostly this.
But that's just normally teenage behavior. It's not exactly bad.
I mean, they were like, if you have 100 of those kids and doing vandalism, fighting over stuff, like smashing bottles and all, fighting with the cops and with the CRPF
fighting with
and all.
cops? I don't know how I'm placed on that. I'm a little, I don't know if that's the worst thing you could ever do.
I mean, yeah, it was violent growing up. So that's kind of the background, a punk background we have.
What I see here is doesn't sound anything like that guy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I was maybe not that, but that was the ecosystem. So I had to be part of that. But then I had my fair share of vandalism back in those days.
What is the worst thing you did?
I can't say that.
You threw eggs on Mrs. Saxena? What is it?
Eggs would have been much better, but we used to throw like bottles. Remember BP Antiquity, those liquor bottles? Yeah, we were those bottle throwing kids.
It can really hurt?
Yeah, that's why like...
and whom? The gang fight?
Gang fights.
Yeah,
I've been beaten up. I have beaten people up. I've got beaten up multiple times.
But you're fighting with people because the gangs are fighting or just anybody?
Mostly gangs, sometimes locals, sometimes. There's always hierarchy of people.
Right.
They are the older kids who are at a different level. They're the younger kids like us, like the young guns or whatever they call it. So there's always
young ones. Young. My time.
So that's why you can see the whole metal scene flourishing there. The whole punk
rebel
scene.
Kind of
the rebel attitude was there. So most of the fights were happening around those metal concerts. Like if you are part of a metal concert.
What are you fighting about in the metal concert?
Nothing, just moshing, part of the pit, all drunk teenagers.
Territorial fight. That's what happens.
Nothing. It's just the music, and it's
supposed to bring love and peace.
And it's fun. It's fun, and there'll always be CRPFs posted around those concerts because we get really out of hand.
Sorry to laugh about it. It sounds ridiculous.
It's
college
fun.
kids are a party, and we should have the right
Not even college. We're high schoolers.
High school. Oh God, scary.
So it was fun.
Can I hire you?
What?
A lot of people want to beat up in Mumbai.
No, I don't do that anymore.
No. Pehchan to hoga koi, na?
No, koi nahi hai.
Come on, use your pull, yeah.
Yeah.
Get those bottles.
Bottle throwing days.
The bottles, the hard ones. Because the Bisleri bottle bounces off aunties. I've thrown it myself and catch it. No point. Wow, what a life. So nothing like what you are right now. So let's just fast forward a little bit. So how did you get, before you got famous and all that, what was the first step?
First step?
Engineering boy who's with heavy metal gangs and doing masti and slightly out of control from what I gather.
I just kept drawing and like sketching and painting basically. That's a constant thing that I did from being a kid to being an engineering depressed little punk boy. I've just kept drawing and making art.
Wow.
I had sketchbooks, like lots of them.
So this is like the true artist story where basically the art is what keeps you going. You don't even know it's art in that sense.
Yeah,
but it's your therapy.
Therapy, exactly. Yeah. I had no influence. I had no idea about any of the artists.
Why did you just do drugs?
Huh? What? I mean, see, I have Dali over here. He said the same thing. Dali doesn't do drugs. He is drugs.
But anyone next to him did drugs.
Yeah.
Dali, shakal dekha kabhi. So big fan of Dali?
Yeah, I am.
I don't know anything about art, but my wife, huge artist and loves all this.
Oh, I love Dali and I love Francis Bacon.
You like, was it really Dali and New Delhi?
Huh? Who's New Delhi?
It's a city in capital of India.
Oh. No, please.
Bottle
I love bad puns, but this was like on a different level.
Slowly my equity is going down, boys.
Oh, damn.
He's calling the gang. He's calling the gang. It's a Megadeth concert. Mera baap ko marne ka bhai. Oh wow, what a fascinating story. So then you turn to your art. You have no idea this will be your future.
Yeah.
You're just doing it to get over life because life sucks. You're going nowhere actually.
Exactly.
And you're in this circle or cesspool of people who are just doing the same thing and their lives are just going nowhere.
Exactly.
It's almost like a depression.
Yeah, it's like a whirlpool. It just keeps sucking you in. You're a whole part of one thing. So what happened in fourth year of engineering, like by the time my friends knew that I could draw and I was doing all these album artworks, a friend of mine just randomly tagged me one of Redbull Doodle Art World Championships post, like calling for entries and all. So I'm like, maybe I should take part in it because my whole life I've been just doodling and nothing else.
Correct.
So I took part in that. I won the national round and I won for the international and I won the international too.
Wow.
So
First time.
You
won the national, you won the international to get in and then won the actual international.
Yeah. So
that's like in tennis terms, you win the nationals and then you go and play a qualifier and then you win Wimbledon.
Yes.
Literally.
So basically, that's what happened. So,
so obviously you were seriously talented. You could have won all these things in one go.
I mean, I didn't know. For me, I was like, okay, I'll get to like travel outside of India.
Surprise,
I'll go to visit Cape Town. Okay, I was just worried about that. I didn't care about winning or anything. I was like, okay, cool.
So I think young Hazarika is thinking to himself, I'll go to Cape Town and stay there.
That was like I've never been out of the country. Like this was the first time I was so excited. Oh, I'm gonna see a foreign place.
Yeah.
So I was like so excited and I was like only looking forward to that. So after that I went there. I didn't even care. When they were announcing the winners, I was actually somewhere else hitting on a Filipinese chick over there. Filipina. So Filipina over there. I was just talking and trying to flirt with her. And then they announced my name. I'm like, holy shit, I won.
You dropped her.
And then dropped her.
You said, now I'm a champion.
Now I'm going to drop out. So the thing is, I had to bloody become a world champion to just prove to my folks and people that, see, I want to do this. I'm good at this. And that's when my career started, actually.
What a story. That's just, talk about a romantic story. That someone has this kind of story. It's ridiculous. It's like a fairy tale. So literally one day you're running around a headless chicken with nutcases, fighting over nothing and not doing what you're doing with your life. Stuck in engineering. Due respect, engineering, great degree. But let's face it,
it is what it is.
It is, exactly. And then suddenly you got this foreign chicks, you're hitting on them and you're now a champion, you're now somebody. Obviously, self-esteem went up. Did the depression go with that?
No, it did. It does come back. I have still bouts
because of the podcast. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man.
But I'm just glad that I'm better at coping with it now. It's always there.
That's such a sad thing to tell me. So in spite of being super successful at such a young age and getting all these brands, which we'll talk about after the break as well, and having all these people who are running after you now, you still feel depressed. What does that say to other people whose lives suck?
I mean, see, I'm not comparing or anything. It's just you just can't run away from this because it's always relative. It's very subjective, this whole term. Because what happens is, for me as an artist, I really want to keep doing something new and unique and different every day. And that itself is a huge task. Like, if I just stop at one point and I'm not able to put out more art, if I'm not prolific in my nature,
that's pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
Khud ka pressure. It's the worst pressure, actually, because it's a very sincere pressure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It's just don't please some corporate guy or the IBM guys. It's fine.
Yeah. No, see, that's what separates me.
You can't escape from your own voice. What I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's what separates me. See, I can be a service provider where I am a graphic designer. You come to me, I do work for you, and you have your stuff. You go, pay me, fuck off. But then, for me, the brands come to me for my style of work. Mm-hmm. And for me to do that, I need to stand out and put my brand out and show them that. Okay,
and you're unique.
Yeah, I'm unique. And I have to build that style.
No, that uniqueness has to remain. No?
Yeah,
because after some time you might get bored as an artist.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Boredom is one of the reasons that I'm depressed sometimes.
It's very confusing. The man's super successful. They're running after him and now he's getting bored. And so he's depressed again. It's like you don't deserve happiness. Look at the way you behave.
No, I am happy. I'm happy right now.
That's true.
Because I'm talking to you. I grew up watching Bakra and I come here, I'm like, I want that bloody hat. And I'd be super happy.
Sorry about that cap, hat, whatever. The thing is that we used to always run short. So after 5-6 gags, if we had successful gags, by the 6th guy, we were telling the guy, Chandu, वापस दे दो. आप post the thing. And then we take the address down and supposedly post it. And of course, Indian television, right? Nobody ever got anything.
I'd be super happy suddenly if I realized this whole thing was a Bakra plot and you come and give me a cab and I'm like, that would make my day.
Bakra, you're a super successful artist. You're one in a billion, literally. And girls in Philippines are going mad about it.
No, not anymore.
Pride of India, beta. Pride of India.
Not anymore. Yeah. I don't think so.
So who's the special one?
What? Like who's going nuts? I guess it's gotta be my partner who I'm dating right now. Like, we are really mad about each other. That's all.
Oh, because she'll watch. So yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's the correct thing to say. Yeah. So you're a Miss India contestant at the end of the day. With all this art and all that, you have to say the right thing.
Nah, I don't.
What does your partner do?
She's an actress. She's an actor.
Oh.
So she.
Is she well known?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shruti Hassan.
Shruti Hassan, I won't say, but then it sounds like I started with the Hazarika family and all that. We should not go into that. People should be known for who they are, right?
Yeah. So we are much...
Isn't she also a musician and all?
Yeah, she's also a musician.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about her. I only seen one of her movies like long back when she first debuted, and then later on we
Most actors, people date them if they don't see the movies. It's a normal thing, yeah.
No, then we connected because she's also like proper metalhead like me.
Wow.
So
imagine where to where.
Yeah.
That's the connection. Forget Kamala Hassan and all that. All doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just like we connected through music and art. We have the similar taste. Like she's like a full-on goth metalhead.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like a full metalhead. So that's how we bonded over this band called Meshuggah. So
Meshuggah?
Yeah.
इसके बारे में जानकारी है? I'll tell you, the Meshuggah was born back in the 80s. Anyway, I'll tell you what, we'll take a quick break while I get my Meshuggah tribal.
You want some more sugar?
I got lots more sugar. You'll be diabetic by the end of this show. Because coming on after the break is Abbas, who's the greatest metalhead in the IDM family.
Nice. I could see him nod from that again. Like, yeah.
The moment he said metal, he got an erection. He was so excited. So excited. Yeah. Taking a break. Okay, welcome back. We're laughing because we're watching somebody else's podcast. What is the lab? Such rubbish, really. What those two girls do?
It's not bad. It's okay.
Are you a producer?
No.
Then what do you care?
But they're friends of mine.
Say hello firstly.
Hi, Shantanu.
Hi.
I am genuinely a metalhead. I know Cyrus said it jokingly, but...
He's wearing a t-shirt with some Pomeranian on it. So I mean, look like...
Garfield.
Hey, Garfield's kind of metal.
Garfield.
Yeah.
Shantanu is so angry with me now.
At one point of time, I did used to wear t-shirts with a skull, worm coming out of a skull. And I am a Metallica fan. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's a bit of a thing there. But
every time he goes through custom, it beeps
because I'm a metal fan. Yeah.
if you don't want to do it, you want to stop.
After the New Delhi joke, anything is still better.
Anything goes.
He just came out of his depression. He's gone right back because of us.
But
you know he was dating Shruti Hassan.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew all this?
I knew that.
How come I don't get this information?
Because then we are scared that that's all you'll talk about. And,
Good.
The man wants to talk about drawing dicks. Okay, come on. I mean,
yeah, so that would never come up if you already knew he's dating Shruti Hassan.
Well played.
Yeah. Parents approve?
Huh? I mean, there's not like...
You're way past parent approval.
Yeah,
aren't you?
way past.
I can't do much about this guy.
My parents are quite cool with whatever I did.
Yeah, but they must be very proud of you now. Suddenly you won all these tournaments and you're toast of the entire art community.
Yeah, they are quite happy.
I can't understand how nobody saw that in you properly while you were growing up. That's what I can't understand.
That's the whole society. Like, people don't care about artists.
Because a guy who's basically a genius, he's there somewhere. Of course, the other side is he's like everybody else around him, so whatever. But the parents, the close friends, the teachers, nobody, what's wrong with the teachers?
Like when you asked him, why did you do engineering if you wanted to be an artist?
That is the middle class.
What is an Indian kid supposed to say? Mom and dad, I want to be an artist.
And I accept that. The parents, for safety, because we brought up with this middle class safety belt, they put you in, right?
Yeah.
So you went in. But how come nobody noticed how talented he was?
My friends,
I'm sure they must have.
They're only friends, nobody else.
But they're not able to understand the potential. They just like him because he's fun.
Yeah.
Because he can draw this and he's fun.
It's
a cocktail.
cool.
Yeah, it's a
If your child is a wonderful dancer, the most Indian parents
have you met my children?
Beta auntie ko dance karke dikhao. For that, that talent is supposed to show off, right?
Yeah.
But if they want to pursue that,
so if your kid is a good master, beta daba ke dikhao, mummy.
Sure, yes. If my kid says,
I don't know, you have to tell us how to say it. I don't know.
I don't have kids, neither am I married. But if my kid comes up to me and says, I want to pursue Masussari or whatever it's called, and I see genuine talent there, I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah.
Nidhi auntie, aja.
No, Nidhi auntie, I'll be massaging.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Chauvinist, I apologize. Why should Nidhi be an auntie? It could be a male also.
Sure, Nidhi uncle.
People are free to take any name they want.
Nidha.
That's a
Now I'm depressed. See what you've done.
that's a genre of porn, right? The massaging.
Masseuse porn. Yeah.
Ask the expert. At the age of 6, he's drawing dick, so he'll know more about all this.
No, he was drawing album cover art from Cannibal Corpse.
No, the dick is hidden.
Which is way more obscene than
A lot of hentai also. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Cyrus, you know what hentai?
I'll pretend to. Scroll down to find out more.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of clicks there.
But at what point did you realize that okay, my artwork is original enough for me to like pursue this?
It's only way later in my career. Like when I won the championship, I started
Even
working.
the championship you did like a lark. I mean, it's not a serious thing when you did. I mean, you just took part.
I just took part.
Did you
I
really
won.
think you'd win?
I never thought I never thought I'll win it.
It's like a lottery, man.
Yeah, I
You
guess
just
so.
doing it with people say, "Chalo, karo, to kya?"
Yeah. So
And next thing, wow.
I never thought that I was unique because I had no point of comparison because I was not introduced to any other artist. Like
Right.
I didn't know about Dali, I didn't know about the Masters or anyone. So I completely developed this whole style of artwork, but just mimicking comic books and album artworks.
Right.
So I had no idea about art. So that's what I say that was the start of my career. I didn't even know how to write emails. I didn't even know how to actually draft emails or work with briefs.
Emails aren't art.
They
I'm an artist also.
Email is a thing.
Now, female.
Yeah.
Bro. That's my art.
So they're kind of similar actually.
Why? Because you're trying to pass the email on.
No, like that is also there. A lot of CCs. A lot of CCs.
Why?
A lot of CCs.
We'll get fired. We'll get cancelled. Do Andrew Tate. This guy's Andrew Tate.
No, I'm not.
Andrew Tate.
He got banned a lot of. He banned from
every-
Soho,
from
no? He
everything,
banned from
yeah.
Soho
What is this
recently.
Bumble or Rumble? Not Bumble, whatever it's called. Rumble.
What Rumble?
He's on this. So they now these
There's a new
alternate
social
platforms.
media platform. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if he can take all those numbers with him, then they start becoming serious.
No, not really. This happened with a lot of people before.
Donald Trump
also said, "I'll start my own."
Trump and Tate are,
social
I'm going to be
media."
on the same platform as Trump and
Sure,
Tate.
of course you
Yeah,
do.
India also has one, no coup or something.
No,
but
Cool's
Cool-
not banned.
Cool
Cool is
was-
the Desi version of the complex. Like, we
Yeah.
want our own.
On
Who was
Twitter.
also
Made in India.
offensive, cancelled, whatever for like first 4-5 months. Now they are like any other social network.
Who cancelled them? It's
No, the idea was
sponsored by
that you
the
can
center.
say more controversial stuff on our platform than on
Oh.
Twitter and Facebook.
Oh.
But then within a few months, they were also like sponsoring literature festivals and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's the same story.
Kuna kaho.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love it.
Bus. Quickly draw dick.
Yeah.
We're feeling bad.
Cyrus, speaking about metal, iRock is back. It's coming
Yeah,
back
iRock
in
is back,
November.
yeah.
Will it
Yeah.
be like it was in our time? Like
I mean, they haven't announced the lineup, but I'm assuming there will be some
first time
legendary
police
acts.
lathi charge I saw was in.
See, and then you were surprised that there were mosh pit gang
Bro,
fights.
I've had fights with police all my life, so the moment he said that, I'm like interested.
Yeah.
You know, I have this whole thing about jean wearing westernized kid in most of the cities of India. You always crash with the cops. Now it's different because some of the cops are very urban.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
in our time. And
Yeah,
this guy with this stuff on his hands and all that, I mean, they'd hate him.
Yeah.
It was the way it is.
But it's the funniest thing where a band is going crazy on stage and crowds are moshing.
And the
then there's the emotionless cops in
yeah,
between.
it's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are
because
really-
culturally we're not homogenic at all. No?
Exactly,
So
yeah.
only in our country you can have 10 different types of people and 9 have no idea what's happening in
Yeah,
them. You know?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
It's almost like offensive now because you guys are dancing and screaming and all that. The guys
Did
are
you
doing-
watch the Woodstock 99 documentary?
Yeah, of course.
Are
Limp
you-
Bizkit.
Yeah, of course.
How dare you? I'm taking medication.
Speaking of Limp Bizkit, one of the weirdest album art I remember was the Chocolate Starfish. So if I can describe.
One thing is there, he's serious about his metal.
Yeah, of course.
Some guys come and just put it out there and all. This guy it's like a cricket nerd now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that starfish is actually like a butthole.
Yeah. And it's.
Yeah, it's probably.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
want to meet my kids.
There are these really
It's a bad uncle.
impish looking figures which are floating on a mountain of hot dogs.
Yeah.
And there are literally chocolate starfishes.
It's called LSD. Once you do it,
Yeah.
the artist changes. Now let's ask the young man. Beta? No.
But
No,
so
it's
yeah.
called hot dog flavored water.
Yeah.
So I guess
Put it
makes
together.
sense. Yeah.
So it got to have some other meaning.
But once your art starts going, where do you see any prospect of okay, I can make a living out of this? How does that happen? Like you said, you didn't even know how to write emails.
Emails.
So how did that happen?
So once I started working, my first contract was with Sorry. Red Bull International.
If you feel like spitting, it's normal on this IVM podcast. Especially guests. By the 40th minute, it must be around 40th minute, then people start...
He literally spat on mic in the previous recording. I'm not even kidding.
Vomit will come 50 to 55 minutes, and 60 minutes you give birth. It's that bad. Yeah.
Cool. So Red Bull.
So that was the first time I got my contract with Red Bull, and then I started working. Then I realized, okay, if for me to make a living out of it, I need to work with brands probably. And then while I'm at it, I have to work on my art separately.
It's like a commerce art and art.
Yes, like applied arts, which are very commercial and all. And also I have my own fine art or pop art, whatever I'm doing simultaneously.
So you don't kill your spirit.
Yeah, so I realized in order for me...
It's what Nasir tried to do with film. Like take on a commercial film to match the pattern. They do that. American actors do that all the time.
Talking about metal, so many Indian metal band members do a corporate job by day and then play metal by night. Yeah.
Like a friend of mine, Gutslit. You know Gutslit? Yes, Aaron Pinto. He's also an artist. But he also does a lot of commercial work for like different corporates. And then he has a metal band and they go for world tour.
World tour?
Yeah, they're right now in Germany playing Death Fest.
Okay. The band's called Gutslit.
Gutslit.
Wow. Germany. German people like to listen to art.
Yeah, German people are crazy.
Is Metallica German?
No, they're not. But they're huge.
The American douchebags. Sorry.
Scorpions.
Sorry, the American douchebags.
Scorpions are German, no? Huh? Scorpions?
Yeah, Scorpions are German.
Correct. So there are a couple of German bands, big bands.
Many German
Rammstein's German.
No, it's amazing. I'm saying Germany is calling Indian metal for whatever reason. That's great.
So there's a band called Bloody Wood also.
This government is working, yeah. What is it called?
Bloody Wood. Oh, they're also huge. They are also huge internationally.
What does your girlfriend think about Bollywood? Now that you mention it.
I mean, it's the same thing that I have.
I'm assuming that's her corporate gig, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are like a different world altogether. Relate with the normal fluffy Bollywood types and all that.
I mean, both of our takes are quite similar. That's why we gel well, because that is her work and her corporate thing. But she's in her heart, essentially, she's a musician. She's a MI graduate.
Wow.
So she's
Google fast MI.
It's a Musicians Institute, LA.
There you go. They Google right here.
He's from CI, Truth Institute. Doesn't know anything.
So I can see that thing happening. So I do a lot of commercial gigs. I do a lot of projects for like brands and telephones and like electronic stuff and all, which is quite
Abbas.
As you should.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to build my own brand too, right? So it's all fair.
What I like about the philosophy there, for most people in life, is if you can do that, your whole thing about boredom won't happen. Because you're doing one thing which is this is me. And the other thing you do, you know that you have to now listen to the master.
Yeah.
And don't get confused about that. What happens is artists especially, they get confused.
Yeah.
Because one is a commercially driven thing and one is not.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's why we do this show. It's commercially driven. There cannot be an artist involved.
Yeah, people are throwing money at us.
Yeah. Sponsors everywhere. Ruko! Tata, Birla, go back, yaar. Good, Rich. We'll talk to you. Just handle that. Huh.
So I still do that simultaneously, but I kept doing it till I got big enough so that my art side, my individual style can permeate into the commercial side.
And did you think that happened eventually?
Yeah, that happened.
Okay. So now you don't need this double act.
No, I don't need this double act.
You're the great man.
I mean, you coming for me, you get what you see.
I love it.
Right. Basically, that's it.
Yeah. Sir, we're trying to save an orphanage. I'll draw a dick.
As long as it saves the orphanage.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Elvis now. He's above everybody. It doesn't matter.
I mean, there's still a lot to do. I mean, but then I have to start somewhere. And my whole perspective is like, if you look at the other countries, especially the West and all, the artists are like really celebrated, especially pop artists and artists that I look up to, like for Kos, Takeshi Murakami, and all this other like artists.
They're billionaires, no?
They're like really big, huge.
And if you ask for an autograph, they charge you. Like lakhs. Because he's sketch artist.
They actually do at comic conventions and everything.
You can't give your fucking signature free.
Should I give a painting for free? What the hell?
What's wrong with you, man? No.
Antisocial has a painting. I just gave it up for free.
You need a Gujarati to run your business. I'll sort this out. This is not working yet. What's wrong with you guys? That one sketch is everything.
I know, but artists get exploited a lot in the beginning, especially.
They do. I have been exploited a lot. I've done so many free gigs.
Why do you think it's free? No, if you're doing it because you want to, it's different. I'm saying, why would you give free otherwise?
I mean, it's about positioning. Like, for me, like when I first started off, I make sure if I did something for free, there's some other stuff that I get out of that.
That's not
deal.
free. That's barter.
That's barter.
Yeah.
So I need the
That's
placement.
how I got married. It's not allowed, by the way. Don't do that shit.
So it's placement, basically. Like, I won't say yes to everything, but I would say yes to things which will place me in the right position and the right place.
That's fair. That's
fair.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how I always took calculated risks when it came to my art, because it's kind of like
what would you get? Give me an example. What can I?
Maybe contacts.
Okay, so networking. Purely networking. Like, I've worked with bloody governments. But you can't go wrong now, because what happens is your thing stays and people see it.
Yeah.
So that person you're dealing with, in any case, he's dealing with that one level of people.
Yeah.
So that cycle of people then all get to notice it, and so you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
in any
exactly.
case.
But I still think here the artist is still getting a bit of a raw end of the stick.
Because he has to get paid.
It's like, you give me something for free, I'll kick a door in for you to.
And also some of the value as he gets more famous is actually more. So one of the, better than a mutual fund. So whatever happens is going to get up and up and up.
Exactly.
And he's lost it. He doesn't own it.
Yeah.
Like, Dali has no money today.
But I do one thing. I don't sign most of them. The free stuff that I give out, I don't sign. There's no signature.
So if someone claims it's his,
I can say it's not mine. Why would you make money out of it? If there's no signature, there's no way of authenticating it.
No, I think it's very cunning.
Like, there's no way to authenticate.
Shruti came up with that.
No, it's all me. I'm quite
smart.
Shrewd like that.
400 BC.
Like, I'm the guy who puts dicks in like brand work, so I guess this is
a
also
different story altogether. Yeah.
But you actually eventually did get to design album artwork for Ritviz, I believe.
Yeah, so Ritviz's whole visual identity, first album to his whole shows and stage shows, that's everything designed by me.
Right.
And then I started working with some of the rappers also. Like, I did a limited edition NFT drop with Divine.
Yeah.
I did album artworks for MC Altaf, Karan, all of these guys.
Is Divine his given name? Like, parents called him Divine?
No, his name is Vivian.
So what the hell, where does Divine come from?
He's come on the show, Cyrus.
I know that, but his given name is not Divine. I feel cheated when people do that. I want to change my name.
Snoop Dogg's given name was also not Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, exactly.
No, parents were Mr. and Mrs. Dog. I have that passport pictures.
Mr. and Mrs. Dog.
One is a Rottweiler.
And 50 Cent, when he was born, when his dad looked at him, he was like, that's 50 Cent. Yes, sorry.
So I kept thinking there's something wrong with my sound the first time. Culturally, people are different. And finally, you figure out that actually that's how they pronounce it. Yeah.
Were you, like when I was a metalhead, all other forms I mean, I've expanded my horizons since then.
I still listen to hip-hop.
That's what I was coming to. I used to be like, no, rap is not real music. Only metal is.
I was like that when I first started off. Then I realized, no, it's like...
Is there a rap metal mix?
Yeah, there is. There are a bunch of bands. Limp Bizkit. It's like new metal. POD. Hacktivist.
I haven't heard
Oh, you should check out Hacktivist.
Okay. Yeah.
They're quite good. And there's another...
What about Altaf Raja?
Purely Kawali. He's unadulterated.
He's just making up names. He's just making up names now.
I've done Altaf
Not
Raja.
to be confused with...
Concerts with lovely guy, by the way.
Yeah.
But the moment he goes with the first note, you know you're in the wrong place. Okay? He kichaus it. It goes from Bhayandar to Baikala in 10 minutes.
Still the highest selling non-film album in India.
And lovely guy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, art is so subjective. Yeah.
So you had no reservations to designing album art for hip hop artists?
No, for me it's like, you give me anything. It can be the most basic thing.
IVM, how much will you charge? We have to redesign. It's looking terrible.
Okay, we have to talk after this. We have to talk about this.
We'll give you Naveen.
And you'll have to sign it.
Can I sign on the logo?
Sure,
It'll be my big name and IVM in the corner. Will that work?
Is this a euphemism for penis?
Maybe.
And whose penis is he signing?
I'd be glad.
Naveen or Akash? Let's flip.
We have to go to the AMS, but before that, can you...
So what are the brands? I want to ask him some of the brands because he's got a big... there's so many on the bio.
Are you pointing at your crotch while saying so?
Biggest brand of all.
The goat dick. The goat dick.
No.
Literally the bakra dick.
So what if Santanu is making it up? That's what I'm saying. Huge names.
So you want... Okay. I've worked with Adidas. With...
Yeah, you've designed a bunch of sneakers for them.
Not sneakers.
A line of sneakers.
I've activated some of the campaigns.
It's a common Bengali name.
Sneaker?
No, Adidas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Aditya Das.
Oh no!
Aditya.
No!
Yeah,
Is that what Adidas stands
Bengali, so I don't want to bring it up right now. So and Ornov is also Assamese. I don't want to bring that up either.
Oh, yeah, no, please don't. Please don't. So
see, different people use the pent up anger in different
Speaking
ways.
of dicks.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Adidas is one of them. I've done stuff for Reebok. So Adidas, I have headed part of some of the campaigns, and I did also one of the covers for GQ. So I was one of the first visual artists who represented Adidas.
GQ is not his thing yet. Classy man.
Also, used to write for GQ at one point.
Who's a Limp Bizkit now?
And I was all across all the Adidas stores. So in India, there was the first visual artist on Adidas, basically.
That's a huge brand, but huge.
Yeah.
So I also designed I did murals for them for the biggest store in India, which is the Halo store in Delhi.
Okay.
And a few customization stuff here and there. So
Adidas has to have a local name in Delhi. You have to call them Halo.
Halo.
Have you heard a Gurgaon guy saying Adidas? Oh, Adidas. Nobody can pick it up. So immediately went with Halo. Superb. Great ring to it, bro. I like your thinking. Good stuff.
So
give me more names. There's so many names there.
Then I'm just thinking of the recent one.
Demanding his resume right
मेरे
now.
पास है. In the words of Shashi Kapoor in Diwar, मेरे पास resume है, but I don't have. I have my glasses. And here it is, guys. Give me at my speed,
yes. Take
at
your
my
time.
speed to open things. What? Select an account.
Yeah, that's one of the brands.
Oh man, that's great.
Okay, while Cyrus is
Divine,
searching.
Raftaar, Major, these are all the guys. And brands, Redbull, Amazon Prime. We want to be on Amazon Prime.
What did I do for him? Oh yeah, yes.
He's done so much.
Yeah, he's forgotten for Amazon.
He's one of the smaller guys.
So actually, I co-directed and directed title sequences for one of the series which came out bestsellers for Amazon.
Right.
And then that was my directorial debut, sort of.
So you launched Tiger Shroff?
No.
Reebok?
Yeah, I've done some of the campaigns, like activations and graphic stuff for
Is
them.
that something you're going into now? Animation and
Yeah,
video?
I mean, one shoe company hears a few, then the competition starts. They want the same guy because he's done interesting work. It might work like that. You have to be, immediately the brother wants it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Rajasthan Royals?
Yeah, I've designed the store buses.
I've done little work with Rajasthan Royals.
Two of the buses I've designed for them.
Two of the buses?
Yeah.
As in BOSSES or buses?
No. Buses.
Look, we've got a really ugly boss. Just redesign karke yeah. Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
My pal just came back from that whole Ladakh trip with the Royal Enfield.
Oh yeah. So I designed 5 hand-painted helmets for the new Hunter 350 that they launched, and they're auctioning it. So it's 5 unique pieces, and they're showcasing it on their all the events across
You
India.
should show this, bro. Yeah.
We can do that.
Jägermeister?
Post.
Yeah, I've done some artworks for them. They're again, for round 2, how about round 2? I'm give me more alcohol.
No, listen, there is alcohol, Appy Fizz.
Yeah, I did stuff for Apple Fizz too.
Salman's brand for Big
Is
Boss.
it?
Appy Fizz.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Don't act like you don't watch Big
I
Boss.
didn't. I watched Big Boss, but I didn't know.
I did Apifist because the guys who were handling the whole project for them was And Walsh from New York.
Yeah.
They're the biggest ad agencies in the world right now. So I took up that project because I got to work with And Walsh. Otherwise, Apifist, I was I'm doing stuff for
Amazon.
Amazon and Jägermeister. Apifist kahan se aa gaya?
No, it's come on, money is money. They're all big brands in their own way. You can't
This
get
was
class.
for working with a legend.
Fair enough. I just quickly, he can't answer all this, but there's Tata Click, there's OnePlus, Dust of Gods, Converse, Molotov. I hope I pronounced that properly.
So Molotov
German.
is a German street art
Style.
Collective?
No, the paints and stationeries.
Okay.
They're quite huge.
Right.
So most of the street artists, they use their products.
You might know it from your early days in Nagpada. Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't want that. Too much? Okay.
And then
AMH.
Dust of Gods is another fun project I'd worked in because they are one of the biggest fashion high fashion brand.
Us.
So
Talking to the right guy.
Garfield and your own merch. At least you have your own merch.
Yeah.
Yes. Please buy.
they're quite interesting because the head designer, Antonio Tedrisi, is actually an architect, and he uses high-end products like Gucci, Louis Vuittons and all, and he repurposes them and upcycles and reconstructs and everyone makes like really nice jackets and
Bro,
clothes.
the cost of company is going up. This guy's scaring me. It's ridiculous. I mean, using Gucci's and all as accessories and you're only paying for the construction.
I mean,
Okay, we have to go to the AMS. Just last thing before that, NFTs, I think are a boon for artists, because I also see my artist friends actually putting NFTs up for sale of the original art that they make. So you think it's a game changer? How has it worked in your favor?
See, for me, I always consider like any opportunity to be a good opportunity. So right now, NFT is like the talk of the town. It's very nascent in its nature. And there's a lot of chatter and dust around the whole market. So it's going to settle down. But what I'm really interested is in the technology. Apart from that, like NFT giving us artist freedom, cutting out the whole gatekeepers, galleries, everyone. The thing is, the technology is so brilliant. Like, I mean, the way they keep their ledger, the logbooks, the authentication, the smart contracts, it's so foolproof. Like they have nodes in bloody moon, ISS. So even if the earth gets destroyed, you have your bloody artwork and your ledger there in the moon.
So Elon Musk and you can then figure it out later.
Yeah, exactly. And also the contracts are so good. Like, so what happens with artists? Like, moment you sell your art to someone or in a gallery, you don't see what happens to it. You don't know who's buying it, collecting it. You don't get anything out of it. But with smart contracts, there's ways of putting in the clause that you get royalties every time the art changes hands. And there is a proper transaction history. So even if it changes hands like 100 times, you get royal. You know who's it going to.
That's good, because otherwise you're like we discussed this.
Yeah.
You're the artist and then you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
And that's a business model for somebody else.
And it's also good for the buyers because they know it's authenticated. They know the time it has been minted.
Oh, and if your name is going up and up and up, it's also like being on the market then, It's going up and up and up. 30th generation of buyer.
Yeah, exactly. And
hey, give me something, no?
You want? You have a digital wallet?
Sign my ass.
On that note,
get a buyer?
Sure. Okay. I had a ass sagging joke, but I'll not make it.
Why?
Do it.
I was going to say your ass will sag as it goes on, right? So
yeah, but the rate will
probably sagged the most. I don't think it'll get worse from
the
this.
aesthetics is aesthetics. What are you thinking? Middle-aged man's ass, you're thinking of the visual. Fuck that. This Megadeth is going berserk here.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me.
Let's go to the AMAs. The first question comes from Drishti. Drishti says, hey Santanu, big fan of your work for Ritviz. I wanted to ask, how often do you face creative blocks and what are your ways of dealing with them?
Without mentioning narcotics.
No, it's only coffee and cigarettes for me. There are creative blocks. I go through them almost every day that I'm doing something new. But what happens is I have a routine. So for me to actually be prolific or be constantly working is I need to be constantly working. So even if I don't have work or any project, I go to my studio. I might just sit there and make one line the entire day, but it's a routine for me.
So there's no block then?
I mean, it depends on what a block is to you.
No, but you don't go to a thing where I can't do this like that. Like writers.
That's the thing. If you're really punctual and you have a duty and you have a routine, you are bound by it.
Avoiding block with your technique is what
I'm avoiding blocks by following a routine.
Routine over waiting for inspiration.
Exactly. Exactly. It's routine over waiting for inspiration.
He's on time, huh? Abbas?
Yeah, I reached here 2 minutes early.
Which is why he's with Amazon.
How far were you?
Huh?
How far did you have to go?
Lokanwala.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
So yeah, that works. That really works. And what happens is, even if you have a block and you have a project, by the time when you have a routine and you're constantly working on something or the other, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, you have a collection of work, and you can simply compile them together to come up with something new, and it gives you direction.
So it's like it's the opposite of the guy who takes the break to recharge.
Yeah.
He actually is so disciplined that there's no question of falling off.
Yeah.
So different technique altogether.
Yeah. But when I take a break, I completely go off the grid.
Yeah. Sorry.
What? I heard something.
I heard Abbas start laughing and I missed
heard something.
I used to do this with masturbation.
Okay.
Like I didn't take a break.
But that's a whole
then
thing
I fractured
now.
my hand.
You've heard of No Nut November?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's not by choice.
I can't do that.
September se shuru ho gaya.
I mean, you shouldn't technically.
No.
Anyway.
No, my neighbors complained. No?
How loud are you?
Window.
Oh shit! How
Loud or how messy are you?
Cheese hai na? You want something. Yeah, there's no girl. There's no fantasy. All I got is nature. Let me enjoy nature. Hawa, breathe, horn, bam, 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 all that.
Okay, next question is from Ajay. He says, Yo, Cyrus and Santanu.
Yo.
Yeah, if you have to pick, then who would be your top 3 inspirations and why?
Inspirations.
Dali.
Oh, Dali.
But
I won't consider him to be my inspiration. I mean, he is down there in the 5th. But top 3, I would say Francis Bacon.
The writer?
No, the artist. There's another...
The medieval writer, Francis Bacon.
Yeah.
Uncle got excited. I know something now.
Yeah.
Another guy.
Yeah,
it's like Yashpal Sharma. There's 7 of them. You can't have the same name.
There are 2 famous Francis Bacon. One is the medieval writer and the other one is a British painter, artist Francis Bacon. If you see his work, it's like morbidly like an album artwork, like a metal album artwork. So he's one of my inspirations.
Abbas doesn't know about bacon.
I'm Googling it right
Yeah, you should.
Abbas doesn't know about bacon.
Oh, guys.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit.
Abbas too much?
No, it's okay. My favorite actor is Kevin Bacon.
Oh my God! You heretic!
It's actually pretty weird artwork, which is very
Who, this Francis Bacon guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously we don't know, but he's a big name.
It's a big name. He'll give his paintings might give you nightmares. Like
Yeah,
it's really,
here's a sample, Cyrus. We'll probably put this up on screen when we air the...
My Auntie Franny.
Sorry, your other 2?
So other 2, the other guy actually would be the whole band Slipknot.
Okay. Man, I have to say Slipknot debut album art scared me when I saw it in the music store.
No, it's
but now I'm a huge fan. So you must have seen this as 9 people in a band who all wear very grotesque masks.
That's Dalair's brothers. I've been on stage with
There
them.
might be one under there. I don't
Mika
know.
was not even famous at that point. Yeah. There are 9-10 of them on stage.
There's a metal cover of Tunak Tunak on YouTube, which is pretty
With the second line? Because they
The
couldn't
whole
find a second line. In Punjabi, ek hi line hai. Tunak, 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 tunak. 15 minutes later from Chandigarh reaching Ludhiana. Tunak, 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 tunak. It's not ending.
And now what about your third inspiration?
would be my younger brother.
Okay.
He's a musician, but I've seen him like practice and work on his art, and the amount of hours and the dedication that he puts in is very inspiring for me. Like
And
I've seen him.
what's his...
He's a guitarist. He's also like a full.
You want to plug his band or his, artist
he's
name?
Plug if people listen and watch podcasts.
They do.
You're saying plug like we are generous people. For 8 people watching and listening, how is it going to help his career?
Yeah, I mean, 8
It may
listens are
help
still
if we don't mention
listens.
the brother, so he gets good work.
So his name is Santanu Hazarika. He doesn't have a band. He's a solo musician. He's a proper.
in Mumbai?
No, he's in Australia. So he.
I didn't mean it like racism, like wow. I didn't mean it like that. It just sounded nice.
So he's a music graduate. He just graduated from Australian Institute of Music. So he plays like metal, jazz, fusion, all those stuff, and he's a legend for me.
What about music?
What about music?
Okay, last question comes from Vinod. Hey Shantanu, please help us visualize what would an artwork of Cyrus look like if you were asked to make one.
I would say I would picture him as a bear with goat ears, with the MTV Bakra cap, and probably a party symbol as a badge.
The main question, since you're an expert, what would his dick be like? You've not even thought it through, yeah, Santanu. But what about my fucking... I mean, I'm half goat, half bear.
I'll give you...
Fly into the tree.
Don't worry,
He has or something.
I'll give you good plumage down there.
Plumage, okay. As a hentai fan, he might actually turn out...
So you want 10...
I'm okay.
You want a 10-headed dick, or you want like tentacles, or like... What do you want? I'll give that to you.
Next year, you do what you want, I'm saying. This time in life, give me something better.
Oh, what do you want? You tell me. You tell me what you want. Give me a brief about the dick that you
Whatever
want.
Why am I involved in your dick?
Prefers, I'll go with that.
I'll go with the 10-headed dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Talk about frustration. Now finally girls like you, but not enough.
Or should I just give you a dickhead?
Wait, but
You don't have to.
does that mean you'll have to get 20 balls if you're getting 10 dicks?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Two very big ones can also.
I can give him a camel hump which stores all of his
That's not
punk.
bad. Yeah.
So now my groin is a camel's hump. I just want to know.
For people who are still listening, this is what you came for, and this is what we're giving you.
Good. He makes his money with his hand drawings and not his talking.
Yeah.
I'm getting scared.
Oh, I kind of like hand. You said hand into post. I was like, yo, where is he going?
But mera situation dekhna, I need all the hands now because I've suddenly got 10.
Oh shit, yeah.
Don't tell Naveen, huh?
Oh shit. Yeah, I have to give you 10 bear claws.
Hey, Santanu, who'll have time for work? Imagine you wake up, even if one is feeling randy, you have to... Out of 10, come se come 1 to 100%.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. Man,
when we three think about masturbating, we'll end the show.
No,
here.
it'll be really bad. If you have some sort of STD or STI, 10 heads, 10 dicks, like, I mean...
After 50, you don't care about STD and STD. If somebody says yes, you're okay. That's it.
Please like the stream, subscribe to the channel, buy the IVM merch. No, I'm telling the listeners and the viewers. IVMpodcast.com, click on the shop tab. It'll redirect you to the merch page where you can get yourself amazing t-shirts.
And hi, Shruti. I met you once in Chennai. We were interviewing your dad and you were there. But you won't remember. She was like...
No, she said hi. I told her this morning I'm
There
coming
you
for
go.
your show. She's like, please tell him hi.
I think some sergeant.
Please ask her also to come on the show. We'd love to have her.
I'll tell her.
Wow. You're good, bro. I don't think ahead. Chalo, should 3 dicks leave now?
Yes. Bye-bye.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.